also wanted to point out on the issue of sadness and depression is that I think that there are different, and you'll see this in your life, there are different levels of despair, different levels of sadness. And I think that those different levels of sadness correspond to attachments. So sometimes when we have something that we're so attached to, in a way that we're not supposed to be, in a way that we're only supposed to be attached to Allah, and we become dependent on these things. So these things are sometimes other people, these things are sometimes money, these things are sometimes status, wealth, image, whatever it is. And we become very attached to these things in a way that we shouldn't. And the way that I describe it is we put these things in our hearts. Right? These things are not where they're supposed to be, which is in our hands, they're in our hearts. And so what happens when something is in our hearts, other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, something we are dependent upon and attached to in that way, when it's taken away, it causes absolute devastation. And so this sadness when it takes over in the way where it's very debilitating, it paralyzes me, I'm not able to fully function anymore. That's a sign that I had an attachment, an unhealthy attachment to that which was taken. So these are actually signs for us, they're indicators for us that we need to make a change in our attachments. When something is causing you so much pain and so much hardship and anguish that you're not really even able to function, it's a different level than sadness. Sadness is natural. Human beings, we feel sad. The Prophet ﷺ felt sadness when he lost his grandson, etc. But I'm talking about something different. I'm talking about when it's like, I can't eat, sleep, think about anything else, I can't function. And I'm talking about serious anguish and despair. That's a sign that I need to change that attachment. That there's an improper and unhealthy attachment to that thing. And that's what's going to happen. It's actually a mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah puts that pain in there. And the reason is that you think about pain in general. Pain, why does Allah make us feel pain? Think about it for a second. Reflect on the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes us feel pain. Why do I feel pain when I touch fire? Why does my skin feel pain? Exactly. So that you'll remove your hand. I feel pain when I touch a hot stove so that I will immediately move my hand. If my hand were numb and I didn't feel the pain and I didn't know that my hand was on something hot, what would happen? I'd keep it there. I'd keep it there. I'd keep it there until it burns off my skin. The pain indicates to me that I need to make a change. I need to remove my hand. If I have pain in my chest, it tells me I have a heart problem and I go and I seek the doctor. If I never had that chest pain, guess what? I wouldn't know that I have a heart condition, that the veins in my, going to my heart are closed. And as a result, one day I have a heart attack and die. I have no warning that there's a problem that needs to be solved. Similarly, emotional pain does the same thing. It tells me there's a problem in my emotional attachments. There's a problem at an emotional level. If it's causing me this much pain, there's a problem and I need to make a change. And usually, that change, what needs to happen is I need to take that attachment which I had on that thing and put it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That attachment needs to be on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not on that object, whatever it was. This doesn't mean I don't love things. Doesn't mean I don't love to have people in my life. I don't love to have money. These things are all gifts of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala which we love to have. And Allah loves to give. Allah is al-Wahhab. He loves to give gifts. But the problem is when I become dependent on the gift instead of the giver. That's the problem. And it will cause a lot of pain. It will cause a lot of pain. Other questions? Anyone else? Okay, Jazakallah khair. Thank you for inviting me to your school. Assalamu alaikum.